Hello and welcome to another update video about Coti USDT here on the KuCoin chart. As we've said before in the videos, we were here in an impulsive move to the upside, completed that in a wave 5 in November 21, and then have been starting to move down here in a correction, pretty much what Cardano did as well, A, B and C, and I don't think the C wave is already over, at least at the moment. What I cannot see is any confirmation of a first impulse to the upside. I rather see here lower highs, because if we can zoom in, what we can see is that this wave A was probably a 5-wave move. We then had a very nice 3-wave move here to the upside, and possibly then started that wave C already with a wave 1, 2, and are now moving down here in a 3, 4, 5. Now what we're doing here coming up is not the wave 4, because we're coming up too far. We've already come into the price area of the wave 1, so we need to see how that is developing. But overall, it seems to be very early in a wave C. And we could do here something similar what Bitcoin is doing as well in that wave C, coming down further, waiting for a final sell-off. And also I think why we're coming up here at the moment is because Bitcoin is moving sideways a little bit, it's moving up a little bit. And in these periods, what we've seen in the past is that, other altcoins, for example, have been recovering. That was the case, for example, when Bitcoin was in that wave 4 that I talk about in the Bitcoin videos. You can see these recoveries have always happened in this period here. That was when Bitcoin moved up. That was when Bitcoin moved up in a wave 4, and here again, we've got the same phenomenon. After that, you saw the price drop. Okay, so that is just something to be aware of. We don't have a confirmed complete break of the downtrend. What is interesting here on the Coti chart is that we have here an ascending trend line on the chart, and it's currently breaking above that, or it did that, but it is still below the 20-day moving average, below the 50 and below the 200. Until these are broken, I'm not very confident that we are going to see here a break to the upside. And of that move up, to be fair, we've already moved up here from 21 cents to now 30 cents. We are on the daily only just arriving at the 50 line of the RSI. There will probably be some resistance here. That's why I would expect here some pushback to the downside. Also, if we go to the shorter time frame on the hourly, you can see that Coti was just overbought now on the hourly, which means that, as I said, you just face some resistance here at the 20-day moving average. We've got a short-term uptrend here at play. That's obviously the very, very short term, and at least we would need to break here the 20-day line to confirm some sort of a break of the longer term downtrend. Then of course we need to break the 50 line as well, the 50-day moving average. On the 4-hour chart, you're also moving higher here, and we're getting into dangerous territory. We're also getting close to being overbought. But on the daily, and that is where it's then getting quite meaningful, we are still in the bearish range, indicating the the downtrend is still at play. And if we go to the really more meaningful charts, like the 4-day chart, it's becoming more obvious that we are still, basically in the bearish range, and there is much more scope to actually fall down further. And if we then go onto the weekly chart, the 1-week chart, we can see that we obviously had a bearish cross here on the Coti MACD a while ago, that we've come down all the way, and that there is still a little bit more scope to fall down. All of these seem to be currently turning around, but it's too early to say that for the weekly, for example, because it did that a few times and then it's been moving further down. So I wouldn't talk about any kind of confirmation of a beginning of an uptrend. I rather say this might just be a retracement, a recovery after the strong sell-offs that we have seen in the last few weeks. To be fair, Coti did hold quite well, but I think this is the period here where some altcoins did go crazy, like Phantom, Harmony One, and Coti didn't do massively, didn't go up massively. So I think we are seeing here, or we are waiting here for another move down and push back down when Bitcoin is pushing down as well. This doesn't mean that in the short term we couldn't push higher, but we're just approaching 3 key resistances, okay? We're quite close to all these 3 moving averages, so be aware of that. It's basically a tipping point here at the moment for Coti, yeah. Coti has moved though above the 0.618 fib level again, here at 30.1 cent. That's very interesting, but I think we are going to see once more here this target area, and we could even go down all the way to 21 cents. We haven't been quite there yet on these fibs here, and maybe even, depending on how much Bitcoin is falling, maybe even the 0.887 Fibonacci level. Nevertheless, Coti, I think, has a very bright future with the DJet stablecoin and other partnerships. I think they're going to announce further partnerships, and of course you can stake Coti, but you need quite a lot of Coti coins to be able to stake them. I think 25,000 to get a 15% interest rate. So at the moment the prices are fairly attractive in my view. I mean, to be fair, we are already still 50% down from the all-time high here, so it's definitely not the worst time to buy, yeah. But essentially that's up to you. Personally, I probably wait a little bit, but to get a foot in the door, if someone doesn't have any Coti, up to you, but it might be worth thinking about getting the foot in the door here to avoid being left out in case Coti can move quickly, because Coti can move quickly. You know, we've seen that before. Coti down here, when we started covering Coti on this channel, when it was, I think, at 13 cents here in August 21, it did then shoot up, and this made Coti quite popular, of course, because it did show what it can do. It moved up all the way from 13 cents to 65 cents, which was just amazing. So there's no reason why it couldn't do that again, but I would rather expect a little bit more downside before we see the final move to new all-time highs, and we can then expect here levels of all the way up to $1.50, I think, in the 2.618 fib extension. This could also go higher depending on how complex the next impulsive wave will be, but overall I think at some point we can also expect a $5 Coti. That might be a few years away though, and all depends on how the crypto market is developing and how Coti's partnerships and everything are working out. Alright, that's my view on Coti. Hope you liked the update about Coti. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.